Happy Sabbath, church. Reading from the book of Fortunes, chapter 1. In the 4th year of the 8 years that Barack, the son of Obama, would reign, about the time that many sought in vain to overthrow him, I, Keisha, humble servant of Yahweh and daughter of one Joseph the scribe, pleaded desperately with God that his word might be made manifest in my life. For behold, I sought wisdom and found much knowledge, but little understanding thereof. And my heart was heavy, for all seemed vanity and vexation of spirit. But the Holy One appeared unto me, saying, Daughter of Zion, fret not thyself for gas, and drive thy chariot along the path of Candor, unto the synagogue of Decatur, and dwell amongst my people 4 Sabbaths. For there speaketh my prophet, Charles, a great knight in mine army. Heed thou his words, that ye may learn my voice and know the commandment thereof. And I straightway went and tarried in the synagogue 1, 2, 3 Sabbaths, hoping against hope to hear words of encouragement and direction, but my spirit groaned within me, for Charles the knight spoke plainly, yet was neither kind nor gentle in his speech. And my anger was kindled against the Lord. Thus the Holy One spake again unto me, saying, Come, let us reason together. Tell me the cares of thine heart, and I will teach you the words of my prophet, and show you the interpretation thereof. Thus I poured out my distress before the Lord, saying, First of all, it ain't that I'm hard of hearing. I didn't know it was your will I was rejecting. I have, since the day you came into my life, pressed my ear to the sky, waiting for your direction. I readied myself for obedience, no matter how impossible the task sounded. I was focused. You got big plans for my life, I know it, so forgive me. Maybe I was foolish, but I wasn't expecting you to chuck me a seed. I thought I was your temple, a part of your body. Surely I should be encrusted with gold and jewels. I figured the seed was a counterfeit of the devil. Plus, Auntie Ellen said that higher than the highest human thought can reach is your ideal for me, and that don't sound like no seed. So, no offense, sir, but what do I look like? Dirt? And a great trembling shook the earth, and mine ears were deafened with thunder, and I was fearful, for I thought that I had angered the Lord. But behold, he was laughing at me. My child, he said, I know the plans that I have for you. Plans to prosper, not to harm. And all the things in you that I've been working on are for the nurturing of the seed. So yeah, you look like good old-fashioned dirt to me. Healthy soil packed with everything you need to be exactly what you're supposed to be. And if you'll trust me, oh, you will be like a magnificent tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth much fruit in due season. Wearied Christians will find rest beneath your shade. Your fruit will refresh them. You will testify by your very presence of what I can do with their dirt if they too would put their faith in me, even if it's only big enough for a mustard seed. And I sprung up with excitement, sure that I understood the process. Step by step, I made progress. In less than a minute, I was a sapling. Wait till God sees me, a month, 2 months tops, and I'ma be a tree. The rains came down and the floods came up. But that didn't really faze me. I mean, if God before me, who can really be against me? Much to my surprise, everybody. Then out came the sun and dried up all the rain, but it got hot and I got angry. Why wasn't God protecting me? I thought for sure there were some other trees, some older Christians who would shade me. Bitter resentment quickly replaced joy and excitement, and I let his precious little tree shrivel up and die just for spite. And sure enough, he showed up. And the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, who sits high and looks low but don't care enough to come down all pieces wrong when one of his beloved children is being persecuted because of something you told them to do. Spake unto me, saying, My child, who told you you were ready for battle? First put on the whole armor of God, that ye may stand against the wiles of the devil. And we dug deep for roots together. He girded my loins with truth and gave me a breastplate of righteousness, covered my feet with the gospel of peace and covered my head with salvation. He gave me a shield of faith to protect me against the darts of the wicked, and when I got grounded in his word, I got the sword of the Spirit. Mind you, the tree still didn't look like much on the surface. But this time when the sun came out, I'd be doing photosynthesis. And after a while, when the saplings seemed to be growing pretty nicely, and there was nothing left for me to do but wait on it, I thought to myself, I'm going to give the Lord a thank you present. I'm going to take my new gift for cultivating seeds and multiply it for him. First, I planted poetry, of course. Then I planted music ministry, pathfinders, and volunteer work. Then I planted singles ministry, Joshua Generation, and Usher Board. I planted 2 choirs, one to sing his song and one to give a testimony. I planted praise and worship, outreach and inreach, careers, degrees, and started preparing my soil for a family. Finally, I looked on all that my hands had made, and I said, oh yeah, that's good. But I noticed that the original seed God had planted was looking kind of weak. Now, I didn't have much time to tend it myself, so I prayed in passing that his will would be strengthened in me. And immediately he showed up and started pulling up my saplings rather than tending to his tree. And again, mine anger was kindled against the Lord. What are you doing, sir? You know how long it took me to get some of those roots? Now, I know you want your tree to grow, but I have plans too. Don't worry. In due time, I'll bear your fruit. Then the Lord answered unto me out of the whirlwind, saying, who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up now thy loins, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. Wilt thou disannul my judgment? Hast thou an arm like God, or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Deck thyself now with majesty and excellency, and arrays thyself with glory and beauty. Then and only then will I also confess that thine own hand can save thee. You must be crazy, little girl. Are you God? Are you omnipotent and all-knowing? Are your words more powerful than mine? Go ahead, and you know what? Take your time. Try to make something of yourself in your own strength, and when you succeed, then I'll agree that you don't need me. I waved my white flag as God pulled up from the roots everything but his tree. Humbly, I moved to nurse it back to health, but he stopped me. Leave it to me, he said. Let patience have her perfect work. Walk with me instead, and fret not for the things you have lost. Hope thou in God. Seek me first, and you will have more treasure than you thought. Yet still I questioned, what would you have me do while I wait on you? And the Holy One spake yet again unto me, saying, my child, fret not thyself for gas. And on this the 25th day of the 8th month, drive thy chariot once more along the path of Candler unto the synagogue of Decatur, for there speaketh my prophet. Humble thyself, incline thine ear, and heed thou his words. For though his speech be neither kind nor gentle, his words are mine.